We have Air Marshal VPS Rana, Defence and Strategy expert, now joining us. Air Marshal VPS Rana, we've been providing proof one after the other, unlike Pakistan. And what better proof than the pictures that we have with us? They claim that they destroyed this airbase. They destroyed S-400 at this airbase, and it's perfectly fit and fun. In fact, in a celebratory mood at this stage, with the Prime Minister Modi himself personally visiting the airbase.
Yes, Krishnan, I think this is a perfect signaling and symbolism at its best. Like rightly you said, there was a lot of disinformation in the Pakistan side that this base was destroyed, and that must have been the reason why Prime Minister went in there. This is one of the very important bases of Air Force, very well guarded, needless to say that. You have all the kind of weapon systems are there, from long range to the small to medium, every which way. So it's a very well guarded air base, like any other base, and like rest of our country. In fact, I was lucky to have served there as a commanding officer of one of the mobile radar unit, which was integral part during the Kargil operations. And in Kargil operations also, this base, most of the operations that were flown in Kargil were actually from this base. So it is strategically very, very important, and that must have been the reason why Prime Minister chose to put that lie, negate that lie up front. And you see the kind of response that from the airmen and officers base there are that he is getting. This was also one of his way of thanksgiving to the armed forces. He's a master of symbolism and signaling. So you see the kind of interaction that he's having with all the people, all the airmen there, all the soldiers who are around. And you can see in the backdrop, don't miss the S-400 standing there. So I think
the best visual proof possible, isn't it? It's right there. If you claim you had attacked it and it was destroyed, it's right there. We have not just still images, we have moving images, to show how excited it is. Before you go any further, I want to ask you, what is it like for the airmen over there? Considering what they've, the high tensions that they must have been in the last 3 to 4 and the continuing alert that they are in to get the Prime Minister himself, in person. I'm sure this must be, they must be ecstatic, in this moment.
Absolutely. I think this must be a lifetime moment for all of them, interacting directly with the Prime Minister, who is so loved in the entire country. And particularly, he always have identified with the armed forces and the paramilitary forces, people who are working in remotest possible areas. He always goes there, visits them, interacts with them. And the best part of his interaction is that it is not formal. It's always an informal interaction. If you see in these pictures, after some time, people are out to have selfies with him. And he's having one-to-one talk. It is not like a structured talk that he will have. And you see this, after this, most of the people were clicking selfie. So I think there can't be a more personal moment and more proud moment for any soldier, any airman to be there in person and interacting with the Prime Minister on one-to-one basis.
Right. And more importantly, yes, sure, it is a great moment for them and for the people of India watching this, and for the people of the world watching this. We've been trying to provide proof to the world, on many fronts. One is the Pakistani military and its collusion with terrorists. We have images of that funeral, moving images, visuals and photographs to prove what we've been saying for so long. And second, with this, it is clear that there has been this incredible misinformation campaign. Finally, you have Pakistan today admitting to some losses on their side. But all that they have said so far about in the last 4 days to 5 days, it goes to show that it is important that while we continue to win the war on the battlefield, it is important to win the narrative war as well, and more importantly, present more and more undeniable proof as to you can't trust what the Pakistani military is saying.
Absolutely. I think more than the perfect signaling, it is rubbing salt on their wounds, because this is primarily what they said. And like I said, it can't be more perfect than this, that you have the backdrop of S-400 and MiG-29 for which Pakistan media has been saying. They claimed that they had shot down MiG-29 as well. And S-400, and here you are, you see that in the backdrop. So I think it will do Pakistan a lot of good that they may mend their ways and do not get into the disinformation campaign. But that's how it has been always with Pakistan. So we can't really blame them because they really don't have anything concrete to show. And here it is that whatever that we have shown to the world the kind of damages that we have done, or so there has been absolutely nothing. We have built our own narrative, but that narrative is built on the truth. Pakistan has built a narrative which is built on absolute lie. So they just are trying to conceal their frustration from the public. The army, the armed forces are going on a campaign, sending all sorts of lies. I was just watching one of the video, the briefing that they have done for the foreign, all correspondents, and they said that there were almost 100 aircraft on Indian side, there were 60, 70 aircraft on our side, and the way he was briefing as if he had knocked down every single aircraft that has taken the sky. I mean, absolute lie. And and here are all pictures that were there. There was the satellite imagery with the proper date stamping, time stamping, and it was for the entire world to know. So now the entire world has come to know of it, and I think this picture is really, really going to haunt them forever.
Especially that quotation that we're showing, why enemy pilots don't sleep well. It's because of air bases like Adampur. And India has many like Adampur, and all of them are fine. In fact, what the Prime Minister is doing when it comes to going to the Adampur Air Base and congratulating all the airmen over there and the soldiers over there, is also letting them know that it's not just Adampur. If you heard from Pakistan that anything has been destroyed, any air base has been affected, any S-400 has been affected, kindly, there is absolutely no truth to it whatsoever.
This is, Krishnan, this is unprecedented. The kind of air defense and the air defense might that has been shown, and the kind of appreciation that the air defense is getting. I don't think any country ever got this after World War II. It was in World War II that where air defenses really had become the heroes, particularly in case of Great Britain. And ever since, I have never ever seen air defense taking the front position as far as your entire signaling was concerned, or your protection of your and here was not only protection of your strategic targets, here was the protection of the civilians. I mean, the attack from Pakistan side was on the civilians, and even that side, barring few odd damages that have been inflicted, most of their drones and UAVs and loitering missions had been taken down. So I think we really done very well on that front, and that must be one of the reason why Prime Minister directly went there, because this is one base who was like many others. And mind you, this is not only the bases that are involved. There would be air defense assets which are right, all across the India, outside the air bases. They would be in the front line. Like yesterday, if you seen the briefing by DG military DGMO from the army side, their entire radars and this thing were on the front base, and so are the Air Force. I myself have commanded a mobile radar unit. We are out there in open like any other army unit is. You are staying in tents for years altogether, and you are there, giving all the inputs to air defenses, controlling fighter missions from there, and likewise. So even now, when all this calms down, I'm sure all those people from the air defense who will be deployed in the fields would remain there for a very, very, very long time. So this is the kind of confidence that is given to the country, that here are our airmen, soldiers and seamen, everybody out there in remote areas, out there in open. Not only they are not confined to air bases. This is one point I wanted to make. They are not confined to air bases. They are all over. And they are in their mobile operational locations, which would be in the fields, on the borders, like the way army is deployed. In similar manner, the Air Force is also deployed. which generally most of the people do not know this. So I think it was in a way thanksgiving by the Prime Minister to all those people through this visuals that we are indebted to our armed forces who have done really, really excellent work, both in terms of offensive capabilities and in terms of the air defense of the country.